Hey everyone, I wanted to give you a quick overview on DAT, the load board, Trucker's Edge. As a dispatcher, this is what you use to find loads. When you first register for DAT Trucker's Edge, a lot of times they can do a quick overview with you to kind of show you and tell you how to use it, but we're going to go through it really quickly today. So, over here, this is like the main screen, the dashboard. It'll tell you what's going into each state and what type of loads are coming out of each state and or how many loads are coming out of each state. For dry vans, flatbeds, reefers, any type of equipment that you want to search for, you can search for. So you click that there. So right now it's on vans, which is a dry van. So you can look for your state. So for example, here, Connecticut, there's 138 trucks coming in, but only 73 trucks going out. So when you look at something like this, you don't necessarily want to look for freight in this state because there's only 73 trucks going out, but there's a lot of freight coming in from other places. Um, so let's see, let's try to find a good one. Okay, so Illinois, there's 426 trucks coming in, but there's 2003 going out, which means that this is a hot spot and there's a lot of freight that is being shipped from Illinois. So just pay attention to that as a dispatcher. If you have a driver that is looking for somewhere to go, or they don't necessarily have a preference on where they go, you can kind of utilize this to see what's going on in the markets that you're searching for him. New York, 366 trucks coming in, 828 going out. So New York is pretty hot right now as well. So that's just a brief overview of this dashboard. Um, but what I normally do when I come in here is I go into search loads, or you can also post your truck. Let's start there. So when you have a truck and you're looking for freight, it might be a good idea to post your truck in here just to kind of let brokers know that your truck is out there and what state your truck is in. So you're going to put your origin state, where the truck is, where the truck would like to go, what dates that this truck is available, full or partial loads, what type of equipment that they have, van, believe there's a spot. Yeah, power only's here as well. So you want to just this is just letting the broker know that you only have a tractor, you don't have a trailer. That's what power only is. You can skip that. In this, you want to put your preferred contact information, comments, um, and any other reference number. Once you do there, then you can post your truck. So basically that's just, like I said, showing brokers that your truck is in the area or going to be in the area coming up. All right, so what we do is we go in here and we search loads. So we're going to look through Albany, New York, and let's say we want to go to Connecticut. Hartford, Connecticut. So DH dash 0. So this means deadhead miles. So deadhead miles is how many miles from Albany, New York that you're willing to travel to pick up a load. So we have it set at 50. So you can set it wherever you want, but 50 miles is to me the max we would go. Hartford, Connecticut, deadhead. So this is saying my destination could be anywhere 150 miles outside of Hartford. That's where we want to make sure that we end up somewhere around 150 miles around Hartford, Connecticut. You're going to put your equipment type. This is O for power only, but again, you can put whatever type of equipment that you have. If you have a dry van, flatbed, you want to put that information there. Length, weight, it's not mandatory, but you can put it there if you want. Full or partial loads. I normally put both because it doesn't matter if it's full a full load or a partial load, we take it all. Look back 72 hours. That is how long ago did the broker post the load? So I just normally keep it 72 hours. Start date and end date. So we're going to start looking today, which is 10/19 of 2022. So anything that needs to go out today, and we'll also put tomorrow since it's pretty late in the day. So then we're going to hit search, and this is going to pull up everything that's in this location that's looking to go out, and this is what we have to choose from. So again, in the write-up, I did tell you to try to focus on building relationships, and we'll go into that a little bit later, but I just wanted to kind of make sure that you guys knew what DAT was and knew that this is a tool that you can use to find your truck drivers. So for right now, what we have is 28 results, 2 exact results. So 2, that's very close to my destinations, and within that deadhead, and my equipment, power only. So SB, that's a box truck. So this is not something that we would want to look into. It says over here straight box truck. That's not something, if we have a power only truck, we would want to do. So that brings us down to one item. So this is Green Island, New York to Hicksville, New York. They do give a price right here. They're willing to pay $1,450. Power only. The weight is 20,000 pounds. It's very important that you look at this stuff. You want to make sure the equipment type is what you wanted, 53-foot box truck, and that it's not overweight. Because if something is overweight, then you would of course need to get a permit. These numbers, they just kind of mean, let me show you over here. So the 97 is the Shaker Logistics, which is the brokerage. It's their credit score. Right now, their credit score is a 97, which means that they're a pretty good brokerage. Days to pay, it looks like they take about 19 days to pay. So that's what that 19 meant. Over here is where the brokers will write up everything that you need to know about the load. Sometimes they fill this out, sometimes they do not. So just, read before you call. You can also take a look here. There is an MC number here. So if you wanted to research this brokerage, you can do so with the MC number. So for this load, the pickup date is 10/19. They want you to pick up starting at 5 p.m. Dock hours Thursday at 10 a.m. It's a full load, power only, 53-foot, 20,000 pounds. So here's some additional information. It's power only, round trip, which is important, and because that's something that if you're truck driver, if your driver lives near Albany, it's important that it's a round trip because then you can route him right back home. So power only round trip must have interchange insurance. Interchange insurance is something that you could easily get as a dispatcher. As long as you have the power of attorney, you can call the dispatcher, the insurance agent, and ask them to put Shaker Logistics as the certificate holder, and you will also ask them if they have trailer interchange insurance. If you have a copy of the certificate of insurance, you will know if he has trailer interchange insurance. And the important question that you want to ask Shaker Logistics is how much trailer interchange do you guys require for this load? It could be 75,000, they could require 100,000. So, that's a question that you're going to ask when you call this freight brokerage. It says after delivery, return empty trailer back to Green Island, New York. Perfect. This is the reference number. So all of this information you take down, and what you'll want to do is call Shaker Logistics and ask them about this load. And we'll do some calls as well a little bit later. So that's the breakdown of what this is, and just pay attention to the dates. 10/19, you want to make sure that this is the date. This date is okay for your driver to pick up. And this kind of shows how long ago this was posted. So this was posted an hour and 5 minutes ago. The price and the amount of miles is very important. You'll want to calculate that. So it's 1,450 miles. So let's do a quick calculation. 1,450 miles. $1,450, and it's 177 miles. That's the miles right there. So you want to do 1450 divided by 177 miles. That's about $8.19 per mile. That's a really good load for only 177 miles, which means that they really need to get it off. You can still negotiate up and try to get more money, but that's an amazing rate per mile for right now when everyone else is trying to give these drivers $3 a mile. So this would be a extremely hot load. And honestly, if I had a driver that wasn't underneath the load, I would call and pick this load up because this is everything. If it's still on later, I probably will still do it. So that's how you take a look at DAT and figure out these loads. Now these loads down here, it says 26 similar results. So they don't necessarily match everything. So this is in yellow. So if you see, I put 150 miles for Hartford, Connecticut. That's the deadhead to the destination. PA is 236 miles. So that's outside of my 150-mile range. So that's all this is telling you. So it's pick up in Castleton, drop off in PA. So if your driver does not mind going to PA, this might be a good one for you. They didn't put a rate here, so what I would do is do a calculation. So let's say your driver is looking to make at least $4.50 per mile, right? And it looks like this load is going 246 miles. So we're going to multiply 246 times $4.50 that your driver is looking to get, and that'll bring you to $1,107. So that number is where I would that would be my low end. So I would probably ask for $1,500 or $1,600, and then they'll probably try to negotiate you down. So I would let them negotiate me down, but I would know that I'm not going to go any lower than $1,100. So that's very important to keep in mind. You want to make sure that you know what your driver is willing to run for and try not to get them anything less than that. Okay, so same thing with this next one. These are all the same Hamburg. Now you see these are very similar with different freight brokers. So in this this guy is looking to pay only 700 miles. So let's see what that is. So that's 700 miles divided by $700, sorry, divided by 246 miles. That means this broker is only willing to pay $2.84 for this load. There's no way that we would do that because we already determined that that we are going to not take anything less than $1,100, which is $4.50 per mile, because that's what our driver told us that they wanted. Now, sometimes if you have a driver saying, I only want to drive for $4.50 a mile, but the market looks like it does here, which is not that great. There's not a lot of freight here. Sometimes they may come down off of that 450 miles. So with this $700 load right here, what we would do is definitely go in at, listen, I'm looking for $1,200. What's the best you can do? $700 is $2 a mile. We can't do that. So you would want to negotiate with this broker to kind of see if they would give you any more. And me, sometimes I wouldn't even call this broker because they playing games. I'll be like, no, you're only trying to pay $700. You're insulting people. So, it just kind of depends on you and your preference and what you want to do. Terryville, Connecticut to Petersboro, New Jersey. This is a loadout. Okay, so that's why they're only paying $100. So a loadout means that you can go and pick up this trailer in Terryville, Connecticut, and then you can use the trailer and put anything in there that you want, as long as you return it back by the time that they want the trailer back. So this might be something that a power only driver would want to do, because they can pick up the trailer, they'll get $100 for picking it up, but then they can instead of power only, go in here and switch it to dry van, and then they'll go in there and they can start booking dry van loads to see if they can utilize that dry van to make some money off of it. Okay, this is the contact information, loadout 53-foot, swing doors, empty trailer. So that's what this is. So some people might look at this and be like, $100 for 103 miles, that's $1 a mile, but that's typical for load out trailers. Basically, they do this because they have a trailer that they need to move to a certain place, in this case, New Jersey. They want to take this trailer, move it to New Jersey, but there's nothing in it, so they don't really want to pay that much. So what they'll do is they will allow the driver to use this trailer and then just return it back. And normally it's about 5 days. And the driver can make some money off of it. That's why they're only going to pay you $100 for this. So that's that. Here's the next one, Danby, Vermont to Brooklyn, New York. This is a straight box truck. It's not something that I would do, but here it is. It says this is the number, post ID, and must have 6 straps, which means that the driver must have straps to use for this load. Frankfurt, New York to Liverpool, power only. They only give you an email, so you'll email your correspondence. Pickup date, power only, weight is only 100 pounds, so it's not really much. And then what they want to do is they want to let you use the trailer for 1 to 5 days. And that most likely means that they don't really want to pay you for moving this 100 pounds of stuff. Or it could just be a trailer move. So that's something you'll want to email them and find out. Also, if your driver has factoring, you want to make sure to run the MC number with the factoring company, so that way you know if this brokerage is authorized with your driver's factoring company. If they are not authorized, you can't book this load, because then your factoring company may not pay for it. And a brokerage may not be authorized to do work with a factoring company because they may not pay back loans, or they may be red flags. So you always want to check the MC number of the brokerage with the company, with your truck driver's factoring company, before you book a load. Okay, so that's basically about it for that. And if you have any questions, of course, just let me know, but I will be uploading another video soon to get more in depth. Thank you.